Good evening, everybody, and thank you for joining us on FTSN Sports Channel. It's another edition of Cop Talk, our regular Thursday slot. So we're going to say good evening, Mr. Stoney. How are we doing, sir?
I'm fine, thank you very much, Artie. I'm good. Just happy to be back.
Good. Good evening, Mr. Tabrice, as well. Another one.
Yeah. Yes, thank you for having me. You've actually called me by my name.
Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. I'm glad to be back. I'm actually glad to be back now.
Good.
That won't last for long, don't worry. Don't worry. And you're lucky KV's not on here as well. You're lucky. Because you know where that would go. So, before we do start, I just want to tell everybody that we are sponsored by Global Mapping Surveys. And Global Mapping Surveys currently assist architects, property developers, construction companies all over the country. And they offer a wide range of services such as topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning, monitoring. And you can find them at www.globalmappingsurveys.co.uk. And remember, mention Cop Talk and you'll get your discount. Okay. So before we move on to the Ajax game, we will briefly talk about, I know it's hard, man. I know it's hard, but we have to talk about Nottingham Forest. So, gentlemen, we played a bit of a weakened team. I think for two reasons, basically. Obviously, injuries and because we had the game against Ajax coming up. So, Klopp decided to rest a few players. But even saying that, we had more than enough chances to win the game. So, what happened, man? What happened?
Do you mind if I go first?
No, go. Come on, go for it.
Okay, no problem. I think, in all honesty, I think in terms of reflection of the Nottingham Forest game, in my own opinion, the only player that actually hadn't featured for us for a period of time would have been Curtis Jones. Curtis Jones would have played in the middle of the park with Fabinho and Harvey Elliott. So Curtis Jones would have played over the left side of the midfield, free to us. We played our normal. Well, I shouldn't say the normal because we've been playing a 4-4-2 of late, but we played a 4-3-3.
Yeah.
Forest played a 4-3-2-1 with our previous forward playing against us. And you know what? It really, really, really hurts me to say this. And anybody that's actually tuning into the show, once again, correct me, right? I don't even think we deserved a draw, to tell the truth, from that game. I don't. I really don't. I think the positives that I actually saw from the game was Carvalho probably managed to get 62 minutes playing on the left side. Milner was okay on the right-hand side, and we were able to show slowly the forming relationships between Gomez and Milner on that side. But other than that, I don't think we actually created enough in that game to actually even warrant a draw. So the fact that we actually lost that game 1-0 against Forest, it hurts me to say it. I actually think it was a fair result. It really, really, really hurts me to say it, but it was a fair result. Forest, going into that game, that should actually have been a gimme. That should easily have been 3 points in the bag. But watching the game and how I felt afterwards, Forest deserve all 3 points from there. That's just my personal opinion anyway.
All right, sorry. Fair enough. I respect your opinion, but you're going to say that still with, I think it was 3 chances that Van Dijk had, and even Firmino's chance as well. They were good, clear-cut chances, man, that you expect them to bury. What you're saying, even if you take a half of them, that's 2-1.
But check this. Even Van Dijk's chance, he headed that back into the box. Chances, Van Dijk wasn't even that chance that Van Dijk had in that game. With the header, he wasn't even actually headering that in towards trying to beat Henderson. He was headering that back into play.
That was
with possibly the idea of somebody else.
No, he had 2 other good chances, man.
Literally Dean Henderson made some worldy saves.
Yeah, but two of them, I think he basically headed them straight at him. If either side of him, and it's a goal.
It's a goal.
Yeah, and then Firmino as well had a good chance. You know? So we had chances, man. We created chances,
but not enough. I mean, Henderson had a good game. Coyote, I actually think played all right in central midfield for them, and Awomi, obviously that played for us previously. and Forrest actually brought up front. I think it was interesting because even when he scored, you can see that he didn't actually want to celebrate.
Yeah.
And that's obviously respect to obviously how he actually played for us as well. But I don't know. I don't even think we even warranted a draw from that. It really hurts me to say that. And Forest, they seem like they bought about 20 million players this season. And we should really have had it on paper. We should have had a result against them, but we didn't. And as he said, even at the final whistle when we won, when we lost 1-0, do you know what? I just said fair dues to Forest. It hurts me to say it, but I'm being honest. Fair dues.
Okay. We're going to say good evening, VW, Mr. Vinny. Nice to have you on board as always. A very loyal supporter. Nice to have you on board, sir. Oh, here we go. Here it goes. It starts now. Mr. B from the Man United Agenda saying big up Robin Hood. Yeah? All right. Good evening and welcome, Preds, mate. How we doing, sir?
Hey.
Wow.
You know what's happened there?
Wow.
Preds actually looks like he's in a space shuttle.
Yeah.
Somewhere in space. And when Preds comes back on, I actually want him to actually really check me and put me in a place. He looks like he's in either at the TARDIS or somewhere up in space.
I don't want to talk to
This
me,
evening.
Mate. Look like. So, Tabrice, did you get to see Nottingham Forest?
Yeah, I kind of watched the game.
What's your take on that then?
Again, it just kind of sums up our season at this present moment. Play pretty well against City, and
West Ham
as well. I think we probably deserve the draw, but again, the Premier League is very unforgiving, and they can also have chances as well. But with the Van Dijk could have easily got a hat trick easily. I think in terms of any positives, I'd say Gomez getting like another 90. He's kind of looking pretty sharp. But yeah, again, you would think it's a given, but imagine a lot of the bookmakers were literally rubbing their hands when that result came in.
Of course.
But yeah, again, it just kind of proves that you can't take any game as a given, and like you've got to respect every single team. And at this present moment, Forest didn't give us any respect and fair dues. And yeah, our kind of miserable form away from home goes on.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Vinny says it's a hallmark result of a transitional season, and unfortunately, there'll be more games like this to come.
Definitely. And you know what? Vinny has actually hit the nail on the head there. And I know in previous shows we've spoken about the transition, not necessarily to do with just the players, but also us obviously looking to make an adaptation of the different formations we played. So this season so far, we've played in a 4-3-3, we've played in a 4-2-3-1, we've played in a 4-4-2. But if we're just primarily speaking about the Forest game, Gibbs White, I think he played with alongside Jesse Lingard behind their forward, yeah. And Curtis Jones didn't even have a blink anywhere near him. I know Curtis Jones is still obviously coming back from whatever injury he's had, obviously coming back to match fitness. But Gibbs White actually had Curtis Jones on toast there on that side. And if anything, even differently as well, and this is probably a credit to how Nottingham Forest's managers obviously got Nottingham Forest set up. Gibbs White doesn't usually play in that top end offensive area, but that actually looked like he's actually played in there for a long period of time. And Curtis Jones was nowhere near him. I don't know. I'm not here to question Curtis Jones's performance, but I'm saying somebody who's had more game time, as in Curtis Jones over to Gibbs White, it was such a one-sided game in that position there. For me, it's quite disheartening anyway.
Well, I think this is like the platform to question our team's performance, because if we don't question it now, then when are we going to question it? And regarding the kind of the like transitional period, and saying that, you know, this is something that's going to happen throughout the whole season. We don't want this to be happening throughout the whole season. So then, you know, realistically, are we actually going to make the top 4 if this is going to be happening? The inconsistency, some like performances being flat, some like performances being okay, and then against the supposedly bigger teams, that's literally when we turn up. No, you know, that can't be happening. Yes, we have to question our players. Yes, like we've kind of got to question the like formation. Yes, we have to question also the kind of opposition and then literally what like they're like doing to unsettle us as well.
You're right.
Okay.
You're right.
Prezi, are you with us now?
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. I'm with you. I'm having technical issues. I've had to run around and all that. But hey, I do apologise. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. A man said he looked like he was in the TARDIS for a minute there.
I feel like I'm in the TARDIS.
All right, we're going to say big good evening. Shouts goes out to Billy Smith. We hope you are well as well. We're all good. Thank you very much. Des B, good evening to you as well. Evening, chaps. I think we're too complacent. We expected to turn up and win. There's no respect in the Premier League anymore. On that point, this is my view. I actually don't think we just turned up and thought we were going to win like that. The way our season's been going, I don't think we turn up anywhere and just win right now. Every game is a battle. And like I said, we created and had enough chances to win the game. We just didn't finish our dinner. And to be fair, those things happen against teams, but it just so happens that it happened against one of the teams in the bottom 3. That could have happened against anybody. Could have been a Tottenham, an Arsenal, anybody. But it just so happened it happened against one of the teams in the bottom 3. And we just didn't take our chances. If we didn't create chances, I'd be worried. But we actually created chances. We just didn't finish them, to be fair. Preds, we're talking about Nottingham Forest. And what is your talk on that? That we rested a few players, obviously, because we had the Ajax game coming up and didn't get the result. But we had Van Dijk could have had a hat-trick. He had 3 good chances. Firmino had a good chance.
Yeah, you know what? At the time, I was absolutely devastated. I was gutted because it was a game that we should have won. Looking on it, we've rested a few players, and you know what? It's not all doom and gloom. It's not going to, you know, it might make an impact at the end of the season. You never know. But you're absolutely right. We did make chances, but it was mistakes again. Gomez, you know, dawdled on the ball. Now I've got to be honest. It's either he spent too long on the ball, or people around him, there weren't enough people around him to get to get a pass, which then ended up him the ball underneath his feet. Then it goes on to the free kick. We didn't mark properly for the free kick, and we got punished. But we just didn't finish our dinner. Like, we weren't as clinical as we were last night. No way.
Okay. So
I think, yeah.
No, go on.
I think the only if there was a positive from that Forest game, if there was a positive, we managed to see Oxlade-Chamberlain play 14 minutes. If there was a plus point,
have you taken up stand up?
I think so. I'm telling you. Listen, if I was to take stand up, people will be throwing the most foulest eggs at me. So
You're
managed
doing
to
all
play
right so
14
far, I
minutes,
tell you.
right? Ox played 14 minutes, and I'm telling you, I forgot he played. So I'm not out here. I know Ox is trying to give justification for the amount of money that that Liverpool are currently paying for him. But he played 14 minutes, and that's the only plus point that I could actually see from that performance against Forest. And I say that with a straight face, by the way.
So Billy Smith says, yeah, what's going on with Liverpool's inconsistency? Beat City, and then lose to Forest, and then we beat Ajax. Okay, we will be coming on to the Ajax game just now, Billy, shortly. Next few minutes. Yep, definitely. We will definitely be talking about that. And Debs B says we also need to cut out conceding the first goal. Woof. Definitely need to talk about that. But we played City and West Ham, and we kept 2 clean sheets there. We won 1-0, so we didn't concede the first goal, to be fair. So, yeah. All right, we're going to leave that bad memory, that stink memory behind, that Forest memory, and we're going to move on to a bit of brighter times, all right? So, We stepped up to play Ajax away. And what I will say is, first 15 minutes or so, my WhatsApp groups, two of the Liverpool groups, Jesus Christ. I can't believe that these guys are Liverpool fans. They were absolutely slaughtering my team. I had to send a message in there like, are you guys actually going to burn your Liverpool tops or something? You're tearing them up or something? I can't believe that you lot are actual Liverpool fans. And they were slaughtering the team. They were slaughtering Elliot, who went on to end up scoring a cracker. Yeah, exactly. Slaughtering Darwin. They were slaughtering the team. This is in the first 15 minutes. So, gentlemen, just before you have your say, my thoughts have always been this. When you're playing big games away from home, you try to ride out the first 15, 20 minutes and work yourself into the game. And what you try to do is not concede, keep yourself into the game, let them get a bit frustrated and the crowd starts to get on their back a bit because they're going to come out hyped and pumped. They're at home and they are a decent team. So I don't know what else did you expect to see in the first 15, 20 minutes? It was actually going to script for what I saw. One thing I will say is that we were lucky that they had that early chance and didn't score. He hit the post and didn't score. Whereas things that could have given them a bit of a boost, it would have been different. But talk to me, gents. What, am I wrong?
That was a great. Yeah, go on.
No, sorry. I do apologize. Preds, go ahead first, sir.
No, I was just going to say he didn't miss it. It was great. It was great speed off the line from Ali Becker, who closed down the angle, and he only had one place to go, and he weren't good enough to finish it. So plaudits to Becker. But from when we round out,
his keeper's goggles on again. Here he is.
But exactly right though, Lee. You're absolutely right. We had to do it against Glasgow Rangers, and I'm sure you have to do it in any away game. You have to ride that out, and we've actually done really well in riding it out. We rode our luck at times, but we didn't concede, and that was pleasing. That was quite pleasing. And then we started to get a foothold in the game, and we started moving the ball, and then we scored, and it was like, oh, okay. Salah pops up, and then all of a sudden we just turned into the team that we're used to seeing on those European nights. We're disciplined, our passing was crisp. We just took a stranglehold of the game, and it was quite pleasing to see. And I'm so pleased for Harvey Elliott. So pleased for Harvey Elliott.
Definitely. Stoney, you was going to say something there.
Yeah. I'm sorry for interrupting you, Preds.
No, it's right.
I think it was quite interesting. Somebody has actually put in a feed about us having a transitional period where we were looking at playing in different formations, XYZ. So it's quite interesting to see that we played away to Ajax this game when we played a 4-3-1-2, which was the first time we've actually played that formation this season. I thought what was quite interesting, like what Preds was actually saying about us actually riding out the first half. If Bergesis was a little bit more clinical, we would have been in trouble because up until about 37 minutes, Bergesis had 2 chances and Tadic had another chance prior to that. Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah. Yep. And then obviously Henderson put that chance through to Salah, and obviously we won 1-0 up in the first half. But I think if Ajax were more clinical, they probably could have been 3-0 up in that first half, which I think was quite interesting. I think Brodbury, that actually played up front for them, he was the number 9. I actually hadn't seen him actually play before. I think he was quite a handful. I haven't seen a forward play that physical in a European game against us. Probably Drogba was probably the last person I've seen probably play that physical. He was actually quite a handful, but we could easily have been 3-0 down in that first half. So yeah, Salah obviously scored for us. Nunes scored for us, and was it Harvey Elliott scored the third goal for us?
Yeah.
But you know what? I'm going to be quite critical of something. And I said, once again, I'm on here sometimes to be quite provocative. So I want the panel to check me and anybody in the comments to actually check me as well. Darwin Nunes, he played like Sean Dundee. Does anybody remember when we had Sean Dundee who used to play for us?
Of course
Listen,
I do.
Nunes, if you guys have ever played FIFA, he's got like a 1-star skill. The amount of opportunities that Nunes had in that game, he reminded me of Sean Dundee. I'm sorry, I'm putting it out there. That I'm just saying that is how I felt. I understand,
Wow.
I get it. I understand he's making a transition. Forget about the amount of money he's been purchased for, but he hurt me. And all I kept thinking of was Sean Dundee. I know he got his goal,
That's
but it was
deep,
more
mate.
that he could have done for us. That's just
can't
my
believe-
opinion.
I can't believe you're comparing him to Sean Dundee.
I have to do it. Have
That's
to do
level.
it, man.
Wow.
This is what I'm talking about. And like you and KV, who's not here tonight, and then they were roasting him.
Yeah.
They were absolutely roasting him.
Because you
But
know
you
what,
know
even
what?
if you think of it,
Give the boys dues, man.
no, you
Yeah.
can give him his dues, but check this. Check this,
shy away.
Artie. You see, even the game against West Ham, right? Nunes had chances. He was trying to do like some little puck shots. I understand. I think you know what I've probably seen about him. I understand that he's gonna come good. I want him to come good. I really do believe he's gonna come good. He seems to play at such a fast pace, similar to like Darren Huckabee. Slow down, brother. I'm not a coach. I do not have any form of coaching badges. I do not have any form of managerial badges.
But
he plays at such a fast pace. I'm thinking if he just slows it down just a little bit more, he's clearly got that technical ability there, but he's playing at such a fast pace that he's trying to do stuff that I don't currently think is in his locker. He hasn't unlocked those. He hasn't unlocked those attributes yet.
Stoney, man, Jesus, you're not
sorry.
Stoney.
I missed last week Monday because I had put in temper, and I missed last week Thursday because I was at work. So I just have to come back with a real this week.
Wow. How many Weetabix did you have?
1.5 with no milk.
What? You sound like you had 6, blood. Trust me. Vinny says he's concerned at how easy teams are getting chances against us early in games. And yesterday, obviously, look at Ajax. They had us on the back foot early. Billy Smith says Nunes seems to be playing better. And to be honest, I think he could turn into something good, but still needing that attacking midfielder that can cut through defenses with a single pass. Of course, we can see that. Mr. B. Oh, my gosh. Here we go.
Transition, man. We're in transition, man. You can see that.
The question I've been asking is, what's up with Salah this season? He just doesn't look himself. I think he's been missing Mane, man.
Yeah,
Mane did a lot for him.
Yeah,
created a lot of chances for him. Created a lot of space for him.
Yeah,
but think about it. When you've got the two of them on the pitch as a defending team, you've got to be watching both sides, man. You don't know where the attack's coming from. So they. I think
with Salah, I think with Salah, I think he's now having to adapt his game because of, like you're saying, Mane done quite a lot for him, but now he has to he can't just sit on the right hand side of the touchline and try give me the ball. He can't do that now. He has to bring something else to the game. And lately he's been dropping in, he's been running at people from deep. He's put that pass in, he's picked a little pocket and picked out Harvey Elliott for his goal perfectly. So I think he's actually going through a transition as well. I think Salah.
That was a lovely pass by him, I must say. Nice.
Yeah.
Pass.
He just went into that little pocket, and you can see it was nice to see it actually evolve, that move. So, and then Elliott going past. So it was brilliant.
And also as well, Preds. And also as well, Preds, he's actually been playing because you know that it's shown that Klopp is also making some changes to our formations. Salah's also being played in different formations. As an example, he was saying with the 4-4-2, he's now actually playing up top either with Bobby or with with Darwin Núñez. And when we played the 4-2-3-1, he was actually the main person up front as well. So Preds has hit the nail on the spot there. He's actually playing in lots of different positions as well. And hopefully it will allow him to adapt his game of play. And also what Klopp was saying, it makes us unpredictable. So teams aren't going to know how we're playing or setting up. And I also believe that's going to be a positive for us.
It can be a bit of both.
True. Right.
Yeah, it can be a bit of both.
But you know what I've liked from the last few weeks, and even Nottingham Forest game, and just the kind of the movement and how we're moving, transition from a defensive shape, and then we then move into an offensive shape, and the movement between the midfielders and the forwards, and they're swapping positions, but they're still keeping that discipline in regards to the shape. So it's quite nice to see that, where we weren't getting that prior. We weren't getting that at the start of the season. We were just a 4-3-3, and we was just playing the same old game. But now you can see that movement, and people filling in, and even Trent made a block last night, didn't he? Yeah, he made a block.
We've been talking about that. I think we've been talking about formation changes and having a plan B for the longest while on this platform here, for the longest while. So I ain't gonna complain. I'm glad to see that he's trying out different formations. I'm like, yes, at last.
It looks fluid though, doesn't it? It looks fluid. We look fluid going, and we look a threat.
100% is needed. So Vinny was agreeing with Stoney. He said, "Those are my thoughts exactly." Then he goes on to say, "Oh Lord, Stoney."
You know what? I mean, you know what?
Look at the quick transition of thoughts.
No, but okay, you know what? Like, I haven't been fair to Darwin. You know, I've not really been singing his praises. However, you know, when you kind of look at what he's done so far, and when you compare him to like the other number 9s in the Premier League, he hasn't done too bad. And
no,
I think
he hasn't.
He honestly, he hasn't done too bad. And again, like, we can't compare him to Mane. Let's drop the Mane conversation now. I don't want to hear about that.
Yeah, I agree, mate. I agree. We've got to move on.
You know what I mean? We have to move on. I think he's doing okay. That's what I'm saying. And literally, I think there was a stat. They kind of compared Gabriel Jesus to Darwin. And literally, Darwin's like goal to minute ratio is a lot better than Jesus. And then literally everyone's singing about, you know, Jesus being like the best sign of the season. But you know, Darwin's doing okay, you know. And again, he's getting the chances, just like how Andy Cole was at Newcastle and at United. He's getting the chances, and like sometimes you may just have that season where all of those chances go in, or literally half of those chances, and then he gets the assists. And like now, I can see him now drift left, drifting right now. He's becoming more comfortable in the Liverpool shirt. And trust me, I was like one of his biggest critics, and I think he'll be doing okay. You know, I think Sean Dundee, man. That's
harsh.
That's harsh. You know?
That is a reality. That is a reality.
Stoney, that's harsh.
Oh, that is harsh.
That is a reality. I'm telling you.
Darwin, look, I think it's quite refreshing, right? We've got Darwin, he's young, he's enthusiastic, he's gonna get better, without doubt.
Preds. Young is when you're in your teens. He's a big horse steering 24-year-old man. He's a big man at 23.
No.
And
he's 24, man.
He's still, hey, mate, listen.
I think he's 22. He's 22, 23.
He's not 22.
22, 23.
He's still a boy.
He's 24.
No.
But again, listen, right? Sean Dundee, listen, you got to remember the weight of this shirt. Yeah. Sean Dundee went in the trap door. He didn't even miss it.
If
he went missing.
Sean Dundee was, he come looking for you, Stoney. I swear. Billy Smith says, do you feel your midfield is the weakest link at the moment? And also, who realistically would come to Liverpool in the mess currently?
Okay, you see, and you know what, Billy Smith, thank you very much for joining the show. Thanks very much for making a comment. This is just my query at the moment, Billy. Because you're on the other side, I just want you, when you have the opportunity to go into your Google search and this is a West Indian phrase. Type in mucker, okay? Because at the moment, Fabinho is playing like he's on the mucker, right? And when you see what that phrase means, you understand what I'm saying, all right?
You got to spell it out.
Mucker,
you got to...
yeah? And that's like bushweed. Because this season, coming into this season, all right, there's been certain players in our
Tony's on one today, you know. Tony is on one today.
There's been
Is it a full moon or something? Like,
this
looking
season,
outside, I'm thinking if it's
Halloween's coming up. Halloween's coming up.
Halloween. Jesus.
there's been certain
God.
players that we know that we know are meant to be playing at a certain level, and for various reasons they haven't. So we know, as an example, okay, Milner will always be a statesman, and I'm saying at 37-year-old, we have to give him props for a certain reason. However, there's only a certain level of performance he'll be able to give to us. We love Henderson, but there's also a certain level that he's still going to be able to give to us. So therefore, in the middle of the part, we're looking at Fabinho. That's the person I've asked you to Google search. And then we obviously got Thiago, which I absolutely love. Unfortunately, his muscle set is similar to Daniel Sturridge. And we also know what's happening with there about Lego and paper mache and stuff like that. And then we're obviously looking at Harvey Elliott, who's young, coming through. We're looking at Curtis Jones. We're looking at Carvalho. So if we're looking at our midfield, we already know that probably should have been an area that we should have strengthened. And for various reasons, we haven't. Bearing in mind, though, what was the young man that Real Madrid purchased? His name begins with
Tuchemini.
Tuchemini. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah, that we wanted to
he
buy.
Would have been the main midfielder that. Thank you. So he would have been the main midfielder that we were looking to purchase alongside Jude Bellingham. Now, I'm being honest. Once again, I want Tabrice, I want Preds, and I want Artie and everybody else to actually check me and put me in my position here. Please do, okay?
Not
If
today,
we
man.
think,
Like,
if we think right now that we are going to be in a position to be able to purchase Jude Bellingham for less than £130 million, and he's going to come to us, we're on that word I mentioned previously, the mucker. He's not going to be coming to us. Okay, we need to be thinking past Jude Bellingham. I want him to come to us, but I don't want us to be disillusioned. So at your moment, the key thing, going back to what Billy was saying, our weakness area is our midfield. How do we strengthen that? I'll leave that open to the panel.
All right, before you do that, stick a pin. Good evening goes out to our sponsors, logged on, logged in. We like that. Just remember, it's all about global mapping surveys, and they can be found at www.globalmappingsurveys.co.uk. Remember, mention KopTalk and you get your discount. All right, they offer a wide range of services such as setting out topographical surveys, 3D laser scanning, and monitoring. All right, it's all about global mapping surveys. Nice to have you on board.
Thank you.
So, sorry, Stoney, what did you say? There was a last bit you said there.
Yes, I was saying about our midfield. I was saying if we think that we're going to get Jude Bellingham, then go back to what I was saying about typing in the Google search. Jude Bellingham ain't coming nowhere near our club at the moment. Why? Let's just be honest. I think if we think he's gonna come, we're looking at probably a minimum 130 before the World Cup. Yeah.
Yeah.
He ain't coming.
That's what the quote is right now. It's 130.
Yeah. He's not coming.
Yeah.
Precise. Yeah.
And why would he come?
Yeah. I said this as well. Like, we haven't evolved. Like, since we won the title, we should have been one in, one out, one in, and then consistently moving on. I think we've got a Champions League squad rather than the Premiership squad. The Champions League, it seems like we're quite with those players, like you mentioned, Hendo, Fabinho, Thiago. Right, those boys will be more quick to play in the Champions League when it's a little bit slower, right, more technical, and and they've got the experience. when it comes to the Premiership now, those boys can't give us what they used to.
They ain't got the legs. We haven't got the legs.
The legs.
I got a well, it's not a controversial comment, but
Go on, join Stoney, mate.
no, you know what? You know, Stoney's on something else, man.
Yeah, Stoney's on flames.
I don't know what he's on, but I mean, like when you actually think about the whole situation at Liverpool, even Klopp is in uncharted territory because this is going to be his longest-serving managerial position.
Yeah.
So this is new to him in terms of, okay, wow, I've been here for over 6-7 years now. It's going to be my 8th or 9th, whatever. So like he's now trying to figure out what he should be doing. So it's new to everyone.
Yeah.
That's for me, that's no excuse, man. My thing is I agree fully with Preds, what Preds is saying, and we should have been strengthening from about 2 seasons ago. We should have been identifying players and bringing them in from about 2 seasons ago to say, yeah, you know what? You should have been looking to the future and knowing that these guys are getting older. Back then, right, they were like 29s, 28s, right? I know the kind of football I want to play. I know what I want out of my players, and they can't keep doing this week in, week out. And not only week in, week out, 2 games a week, to be precise, playing in all competitions and that. I need to bring in some reinforcements, man. Seriously.
But you know what? Artie, let me throw the spanner in the works here, right?
Oh my gosh.
I'm ready for this. Check this, right?
Listen, let me just ask anybody out there who upset Stoney today? Because I've never seen this guy before.
I've never heard this before.
Did you use a score and find a nugget?
Find the nugget, you must find the pence.
Oh, bloody hell,
my
mate.
gosh. Check this, right? So our team mentioned such a valid point just a minute ago about us looking to probably bringing in new personnel, and in terms of changing, even if we're looking at changing like the age demographic of our club, all right? So if we think of this, even though I know this player actually hasn't played in the last 2 seasons, we bought Callum Ramsey, right back. Yeah. Drop the age group. We bought in Ibrahim, centre back. Am I correct in saying that? We bought in Carvalho, who can play in midfield or offensively up front. We've done that. Is it 2 seasons that Jota's been there? Correct me if I'm incorrect. Right?
Yeah.
So we bought in Jota and we've bought in Nunez. And then in terms of midfield, even though I know that player was a little bit older, but we're looking for experience, we bought in Thiago. So if you're looking for additions to the club, we have actually done that, you know. We've actually brought in young players and experienced players. So we have actually done that.
Not
sufficient, though. Not sufficient.
What do you mean?
Yeah. Not sufficient for me.
Well, I mean, we paid a lot of money. We paid a lot of money from Naby, didn't we?
1 minute.
Sorry.
When I say that, I mean, by doing that, I'm talking about looking at bringing in players who can start now.
Yeah, 100%.
Number 1. And number 2, that we can comfortably then say, you know what, we can, all right, I'm bringing in this guy, Ox, you're gone. We can get rid of them Deadwood.
Yeah.
Because we've still got that hanging around to try and back us up. I want it to be bringing in players that we don't need to rely on that. We're getting rid of those guys. And we're bringing in someone. I always love to bring in future talent. I love that. But right now, with the position that Liverpool are at, we need to try and maintain. So you need to be bringing in players that can come in and we can try and maintain what we're doing and keep growing to try and dominate, as well as bringing in youngsters to come through. Yeah, we was talking about Carvalho for time. So it was like, can't wait for him to come in. 100%.
Very happy.
But we needed to bring experience in as well and get rid of some of those older experienced players who are not doing it, not cutting the mustard for me.
Well, we have this Arthur Melo.
Oh, who ain't played a minute and is out injured until the new year.
Ain't he going under the surgeon's knife?
Well, I wasn't even going to mention his name.
I even forgot that he played for us, to tell the truth.
The man's just there collecting wages. And he's not going to play till the new year. That's the prognosis. It's the new year.
Yeah.
That's
and
all these things as what's making other fans laugh at us when we do things like that. So like,
but you know,
and he hasn't even played. Come on, and now he needs an op. Come on. Come on.
I tell you what, Real Madrid must have had the biggest window and seen us coming.
Yeah.
In regards to paying a loan fee for a player who's paid 5 minutes, and then we find out that he's injured, and then we find out that he's got to go under the knife, and he won't be back to the new year. Like they saw us coming, mate. They mugged us right off. We didn't do our due diligence, and that's probably and because we didn't do the due diligence, we've got what we've deserved, which is a player who actually is not fit enough to play. But interestingly, what do you guys think about Klopp being somewhat frustrated with his medical team in relation to Naby and Ox?
It's not, boy. But you're frustrated, man. You're a boss. You got decisions to make. If they're not doing their job, is your P45. Keep it moving.
So
keep it moving, because here what? You not doing your job is making me look bad.
So what? What's his comment about the medical team?
It's kind of like they've set a target in regards to Naby and Ox coming and playing. So what they're saying is they won't be able to play until after the first phase of Champions League.
Yeah.
So basically, Klopp's all saying, well, if they're fit and they're training, well, I'm just looking into it outside in. If Klopp is saying that, then they must be training, and they must be to a point where they should be available for selection.
Well, like Stoney said, Ox played 14 minutes against West Ham.
So he wasn't due to play until after the first phase. That's what the medical team gave him, the target. So was it a case of they done that because he's put pressure on them and said, look, I need players out there. But Naby, another one, we said we haven't bought players, but we did buy Naby, but Naby's just not worked out for us. And I think Klopp's been too loyal in relation to, you know what, Naby, he'll come good. Ox, he'll come good. But it just keeps going on and on and on, and now we're in this position now.
Yeah.
Vinny says if Hendo was Brazilian, his pass would be. Oh my gosh, it was a great pass for Salah. I ain't gonna lie, outside of the room. And he does this, man. He did a great one for us against Man United when we beat them 5-0. Tremendous pass for Salah. He does this, and that's people keep talking about him like he's not, but he does have that in his locker.
Absolutely,
does have it in his locker, standard, and he's always looking up for it. I don't care what anybody says. You have to give the boys props. Yeah, Endo
does he do it enough? Does he do it enough?
Yeah, he does not. Don't be surprised when he does do it. But you know why? I think he doesn't get the chance to do it enough because he's working so hard.
Yeah,
he's running up and down like a madman. You'd think he's got like batteries in his back, the way that he runs up and down. And remember, he does a lot to get back on all that, so he doesn't have the opportunity to play forward more. Whereas if you had someone who had legs now, unlike Fabinho's legs are gone. You could step forward a bit more and do a bit more going forward and feel a bit more comfortable taking risks. But right now you can't. He has to try and cover and help out. Fabinho looks like he's running on sand.
Yeah. It looks like he's got a caravan on his back sometimes.
Yeah, he does. He looks like he's running on sand. I'm telling you, I'm looking at him like, damn, you look so lethargic and slow. It's unbelievable. The game's passing you by.
Yeah, but recently,
he was a world beater before.
Yeah, and recently, all these tackles have been lunging tackles, which is a yellow card, one of those professional fouls. That's what he's been like for the last couple of the games. Oh well, months. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting how he's going to get better.
Stoney, I see you smiling. This one's for you, Stoney. Nunes is okay. He'll come good. He gives us a bit more cutting edge up front, and the Sunday comparison is a bit mean. Debs, yeah, you're a nice guy to put it like that.
That's not mean.
Out of bloody order, mate. Vinny, this is my thoughts exactly. I think Jesus gets the plaudits because his form contributes to Arsenal being top of the table. Nunes' run is camouflage because of our inconsistency. I fully agree. Fully
I think,
agree.
I think it's like very easy to compare Nunes to Salah because sorry, Nunes to Mane because Mane's gone, but there's no one to compare Jesus with because Arsenal didn't have a number 9. So it's like, oh, we have a number 9 and we have no one to compare him with, and but it's what it is, I guess.
Fitz Warren Brighton, how you doing? Nice to have you on board. Do you remember press that like button, that share, and subscribe? Yeah, we got no midfield. We should have bought that one who went to Wolves.
Oh,
Who's that?
who's that? I think Fitz Warren Brighton. I think it would be amazing. You're still obviously tuning into the show. If it would be possible to put in the comment the player that went to Wolves.
Are we talking
Portuguese
Neto?
guy? The Portuguese? No, we're talking about the Portuguese
Neto?
guy.
I think they're all
Neto.
Portuguese, aren't they? Down at Wolves.
Yeah, they are. No, it's not Neto. It's to be fair, I don't know why we didn't buy the other lad, Moutinho. What's his name?
Moutinho.
Moutinho.
No,
He's a bit clever.
Martino's older than Klopp, man.
Yeah,
he's old.
No, not Moutinho. The other Neves.
I don't know. I'm not too sure.
You know what?
Get Declan in.
Yeah, Brighton. Fitz Warren Brighton, please tell us who that was, please, in the comments. Post out who that was. The guy who went.
A lot of the Wolves players are a much of nothing, though. I think a lot of them are fresh air. If you look at the amount of players, honestly, in all honesty, if you look at a lot of the players that have,
you call it Stoney. What's happened to you, man, today?
You're fresh air. I'm being serious. If you listen,
What's going on today?
No, seriously. If you look at the if you look at the players that Wolves have actually purchased from goalkeeper right up to offensively, tell me any of their players that are worth more than a bag of Haribos. Please tell me. That's the honest truth. Come on, let's be honest. Let's think about any of those players from the goalie to the forward who are worth anything.
One player I think he might be. He could be all right in a different team. Is it Podence?
No, Podence is about 2 foot. What do you remember?
It's got nothing to do with it, bro.
Tottenham used to have a player. Tottenham used to have a player called Dominguez. Tottenham used to have a player called Dominguez. No, but watch this. Tottenham used to have a player called Dominguez when Ginoli used to play for them. How can you have a player that is 2 foot in a Premiership? What is he good for doing than counting the grains of grass? Podence don't do nothing.
Playing football on the deck, as I was taught, it's supposed to be played.
No, Podence ain't coming nowhere near Liverpool.
He can play ball. No, I didn't say Liverpool.
Yeah,
I didn't say Liverpool. I said he could do. I think he could do bits at another club. But I think
you said ball. Are we talking about football or pool?
Yeah.
Tell him what.
Come on, let's be quite accurate, RT, with the sport you're speaking about here.
Jesus Christ!
I think
Halloween.
Is it Matt Killerman? I think he plays centre back. I think he's decent.
Yeah, him and Collins that have been there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's decent.
Good evening, Bingy B. How you doing, my brother? Big up yourself. I've been saying this, Preds, in regards to getting new players in and moving on others. He agrees.
Too low.
Okay, hold on. What does he say? Klopp is too loyal and he needs to understand that the sentiment has to go. Been saying that for a minute. Every new player under Klopp suffers muscle injury after a few months. Man said Klopp, you know. Mr. B, why don't you go and play with the traffic, man? Jesus Christ. Man's laughing at your bag of Haribos. He was waiting for LFC, think he was from Lisbon.
I think it might be Matthias Nunes.
Okay. But even that's the new purchase as well, isn't it? At Wolves. Is that the central midfielder?
I think he's the captain. Yeah. I think he's the captain, isn't he?
Right.
No, isn't Thing captain, the old boy with the ponytail?
No, it's Neves.
Neves is the captain, but Nunes is the midfielder. I think they bought him for 36, 37 mil.
Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know with and you know, obviously every point about of Wolves has actually been valid. I don't know whether it is because there's been such a big changeover in management and coaching staff there while the players haven't settled in, but some of their purchases, yeah, I don't know, a lot of question marks. But hey, that's for another show anyway.
All right.
That's
before we
what
move on
Wolves show.
and get the
Thank
quiz
you.
involved,
Thank you.
before we move on and get the quiz involved, gentlemen, I'm going to quickly ask you, against the Ajax, who was your man of the match?
I'll go last.
Shall I go first? Because like I need sort of the highlights.
Oh, yeah.
I would I don't know.
Did he watch it?
I watched the highlights. You know,
I love that.
I can't. You know, I can't say a name. You know, I think that's unfair. However,
that's fair. That's fair news. That's fair news. All right.
However, I think can I just say I think Harvey Elliott is an outside shout for the England squad. I really do think so.
They were talking. The actual pundits were actually talking about that. They were actually talking about that. They basically were saying, "Keep up this form," and he's got a shout.
Yeah. We mentioned it a few weeks ago. We were saying we hope it might be a little bit too soon for him, and it might be that he might get carried along just for the experience.
Yeah.
But listen, when you're starting for Liverpool FC, mate, that's it. You know, that's huge, and fully deserved as well. And I got to go for my man of the match. I got to go for Harvey Elliott. Not just because he scored the goal, but the work rate he puts in. I mean, he was backing up Trent last night like no man's business, and then he was backing him up, and then next thing you know, he was off again, going forward and closing. I mean, his work rate and energy was just, and on the ball as well, is really, really good. So Harvey Elliott, I'll give my man of the match to.
Okay, Stoney.
Yeah, I would say my man of the match was actually Robbo. I think obviously he's been out for a period of time with his injury and Tsimikas has been playing. But I think with the game, for me, Robbo was my man of the match. I think he obviously assisted for Darwin Núñez's game, and I like the way that he actually responded coming back into the team as well, playing in a 4-3-1-2. He looked so comfortable playing there. So my man of the match would have been Robbo.
And Robbo is the one apparently that said to Darwin, "Don't worry, man. I'm going to put a cross on your head and you'll score." He said he don't know if Darwin understood a word of it, but that's what he said to him at half time. Yeah.
He played good. Andy Robinson played very good.
You know on that Stoney, right?
Yeah.
My Robertson was a very close second for me. Reason being is that I love the tear up he had with Matey Boy, the old Spurs player.
Good.
You see,
Bergwijn.
Oh, did you see them two were having a right? It was superb. They was talking to each other, and then you got Bergwijn saying, "Yeah, come then," and then the next thing you know, you got Robbo knee in the back. Oh, it was beautiful.
Brilliant.
Love that.
Brilliant.
Fitzwarren agrees and says Elliot. Also, Desby agrees. Says yep. He says Elliot. He goes with Elliot as well. Okay, so just a few points, gents, before we move on to the quiz. So make sure you're ready. Liverpool have proven this season that midfield is desperately needed in the summer. As a pursuit of Tuchemini failed, one player the Reds should be all over is Frankie de Jong from Barcelona. With the Dutchman coming close to leaving for Man United in the summer, the midfielder is said to be upset with his treatment in Spain after choosing to stay and fight for his place in the side. So according to ESPN, Liverpool are ready to make a move for de Jong ahead of Chelsea and Man United.
Well, they're not in the Champions League no more, are they?
True.
Liverpool eyeing free transfer of attacker that Erling Haaland says is one of the biggest talents. Liverpool have been credited with having a strong interest in Borussia Dortmund starlet Youssoufa Moukoko as a 70-year-old's contract ticks down. So despite his tender age, has featured frequently in the Bundesliga and has 7 goal contributions, 3 goals and 4 assists in 15 games this season. Contract negotiations between his representatives and the Yellow Wall have seemingly stalled which has reportedly courted interest from the Reds, as well as Real Madrid, Barcelona, and Paris Saint-Germain.
Shall I tell you the most interesting thing about that? How it's Haaland that recommended the whole thing. We are literally taking advice from a 22-year-old.
Yeah, but obviously he's played with him. He's been there with him, so he's seen him firsthand.
You know, there's a little rumor circulating that Liverpool. The reason why Newcastle are looking to tie down is it Gameras?
Gameras, yeah.
The reason why they're looking to tie him, yeah. Liverpool have put in a real firm interest, and I think he's got a buyout clause. Not too sure. Don't quote me on it. But if they're looking to do something like that and jump on it, then there might be some element of truth in it. Who knows? But I'd go with Frankie de Jong, you know, all day long.
Yeah. I'd take him, but wages might be an issue. Wages might be an issue. So, also, following an investigation into an allegation received by the FA in a Premier League fixture between Arsenal and Liverpool, the FA have confirmed that it will be taking no disciplinary action against Jordan Henderson. The FA received a complaint about an incident involving the two players in the fixture. As a result of the complaint, the FA conducted a full and thorough investigation. No, NFA, basically. NFA.
Yeah, there was people trying to bandit about that it was racism.
Of course.
Yeah, but there was another little rumor going about. I'm not going to say on air, but there was another rumor that was that Henderson was quoted as saying, but it wasn't racism.
Okay, all right. So, gentlemen, are our minds focused?
No.
Yeah. Oh well. oh well.
I hope you got a few questions that have the answers of Kenny Dalglish, Ian Rush, and Aldridge.
Well, let's say that Preds is in trouble. Put it that way. All right. So I always try and make it interesting for you guys, man. I do. I swear. I work hard on this, Trust me. This one is ex-Liverpool players, and where are they now?
Oh, you're having a babble, aren't you?
Oh, jeez.
Wow. This is going to be
Okay.
tricky.
So, first one. After his contract expired in the summer of 2016, the former Newcastle United defender returned to his homeland for a brief stint at second-tier side Real Zaragoza before retiring in 2017 due to consistent injury problems. Since hanging up his boots, he has managed to beat a brain tumor and is now working with his brother in a football agency representing players at all levels.
Oh, my gosh. Oh. Okay.
I haven't got a pen or paper. I'm sorry, it's too. I haven't got anything.
That's all right. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to come to you first then for your answer. That's what I'll do.
I know the lad.
So I can't ask nobody and then they've got it written down and then you want to say, oh, yeah. No.
Yeah.
First.
Oh, my God. What is his name? Left back.
All right.
Oh,
Prince, why don't you just tell everybody and give them the answer?
I can't remember his name.
Don't speak out loud, bro.
Right.
I'm not. Sorry.
All right.
I was sorry. I thought I muted myself.
Yeah. All right. Next. He called quits on a trophy-laden career in 2017 following a spell at Celtic and is now part of Rodgers' coaching staff at Leicester City.
Hold on 1 second. So we have to write this down, innit?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, cool. Yep.
Yeah? Okay. Next. Italy international swiftly moved to League One club Nice on a permanent deal in August 2016 after spending the season prior on loan with AC Milan.
Sorry.
What?
Can you repeat that?
Italy international swiftly moved to Liga One club Nice on a permanent deal in August 2016 after spending the season prior on loan with AC Milan. Okay. Hold on. That was 1, 2. 1, 2. That was number 3. Number 4. The Borussia Dortmund midfielder admitted in 2019 that Klopp was disappointed by his departure to join Juventus in July 2018.
Oh, no idea. Okay.
What? I'm surprised at you, Stoney. I'm surprised. Okay. Number 5. In truth, this player didn't nail down a place under Rodgers or Klopp following his 20 million signing from Benfica in 2014. He played just 23 times during a 5-year stay. This player finally ended his torrid Anfield stint on January deadline day in 2019, moving to Claudio Ranieri's Fulham on a free transfer. These boys are thinking, oh, I like
I
it.
can't think who that is.
Okay, well, we'll move on to number 6. He joined Turkish side Trabzonspor, but was released in March 2020 after receiving a 4-month ban for breaking rules around gambling.
So can you repeat that very quickly?
He joined Turkish side Trabzonspor, but was released in March 2020 after receiving a 4-month ban for breaking rules around gambling. Vinny says, geez, we signed a bag of rubbish over the years. Actually, some of these players were actually all right. Vinny. Some of these were all right, mate. Okay, number 7. Andrew Robertson's emergence in the 2017-18 campaign saw this player fall out of favour at Anfield. In the summer of 2019, the 4-time capped Spain international returned to his homeland with Villarreal after the expiry of his contract.
Oh my God. What's the boy name again?
Okay. And number 8. At the start of Klopp's Liverpool revolution, this player was a trusted lieutenant who featured in most matches. Then a certain somebody called Trent Alexander-Arnold emerged. Alexander-Arnold made his first forays into the side in 2016-2017 season, and this player was soon considered a backup to his younger compatriot. A loan spell at Bournemouth was followed by a permanent exit as he returned to Crystal Palace when his contract expired in 2020. I'm gonna save the other quiz for next week. I'm not even gonna go into that one. I'm just gonna do this one. I'll save the other one for next week.
Yeah, these ones.
Yeah,
these ones.
please do.
So, what I will do quickly is I'll just run through them quickly for you again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, after number 1, after his contract expired in the summer of 2016, the former Newcastle United defender returned to his homeland for a brief stint at second-tier side Real Zaragoza before retiring in 2017 due to consistent injury problems.
Right.
Since hanging up his boots, he has managed to beat a brain tumor and is now working with his brother in a football agency representing players at all levels. Number 2, he called quits on a trophy-laden career in 2017, following a spell at Celtic, and is now part of Rodgers' coaching staff at Leicester City.
Yep.
Number 3, the Italy international swiftly moved to Liga 1 side Nice on a permanent deal in August 2016 after spending the season prior on loan with AC Milan. Number 4, the Borussia Dortmund midfielder admitted in 2019 that Klopp was disappointed by his departure to join Juventus in July 2018. Number 5. In truth, this player didn't nail down a place under Rodgers or Klopp following his 20 million signing from Benfica in 2014. He played just 23 times during a 5-year stay. This player finally ended his torrid Anfield stint on January deadline day in 2019, moving to Claudio Ranieri's Fulham on a free transfer. Number 6. He joined Turkish side Trabzonspor but was released in March 2020 after receiving a 4-month ban for breaking rules around gambling. Number 7. Andrew Robertson's emergence in 2017-18 campaign saw this player fall out of favour at Anfield. In the summer of 2019, the 4-time capped Spain international returned to his homeland with Villarreal after his expiry of his contract. And number 8, last but not least, at the start of Klopp's Liverpool revolution, this player was a trusted lieutenant who featured in most matches. Then a certain somebody called Trent Alexander-Arnold emerged. Alexander-Arnold made his first forays into the side in 2016-17 season, and this player was soon considered a backup to his younger compatriot. A loan spell at Bournemouth was followed by a permanent exit as he returned to Crystal Palace when his contract expired in July 2020. Okay, gentlemen. All right, so I can see, yeah, man, I like that, man. That what do you call it? The panel has been, what do you call it? Our viewers have been getting involved. I love that. Love that. Okay, so Preds, you are going to start. You are going to be number 1. So we're going to go with number 1. Question number 1. Who have you got down for us?
I've got Jose Enrique.
Okay. And Stoney?
Yeah, I've also got Jose Enrique as well.
Okay. And Tabrice?
Yeah, I've got Jose Enrique.
Okay. Well done, gentlemen. Well done. So you should do 1 point each. Okay. Number 2, Preds.
Toure? No, not Toure. Oh my God, it's his brother, isn't it?
What's his brother's name?
What's his
They're both called Toure.
I know.
Yeah. not Yaya's the big one. I can't remember his name.
I do.
Oh, yeah, I know you do.
If you can't give me his first name, bruv, I can't give you the point.
Oh! I can't. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's gone. I've got Yaya and Thingy.
Okay, sorry, I have to move on. Sorry. Stoney
Colo Torre.
and Tabrice.
Colo Torre.
Okay.
Colo Toure.
Hip hip hooray. Okay. Number 3, Preds.
Oh, I ain't got a clue on that one. Can't remember that one.
This is a good one, you know. All right, Stoney.
Listen, this is a guess. I've got Chiellini.
Okay. And Tabrice.
I've got Equalani.
Gentlemen. Who's the guy who, when he scored, and he said, "Why always me?"
Oh, Balotelli.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah, he went to Nice.
Wow.
He
Yes,
went to
Nice, man.
Milan.
Come on.
And then he went to Berlusconi's Monza afterwards.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, wow.
Oh,
Okay.
forget we had Balotelli, you know.
Yeah.
Vinny says, yeah, Enrique
him
was
on
good. He
loan.
was a good player.
Mm.
He was a good player.
Great little live wire.
Number 4, Preds.
Emre Can.
Tony,
Yeah, Emre Can.
Tabrice.
Emre Can.
Okay, yeah. He played the other night. Got a booking and all.
Yeah.
And gave away a penalty.
Yeah. Stupid challenge.
What a stupid challenge.
Right. This one I know you lot might find. Let me see how you lot did with this one. Number 5. Preds.
The name Ramirez comes up. I don't know why, but I'm going to go with a guess and say I don't even know if that's his name, but I remember the kid. I remember didn't he score against Man United? Anyway, Ramirez.
Ramirez.
Hold
on. What Ramirez did Liverpool have playing for them?
The Portuguese boy, come from Benfica. He played
Cost
midfield.
20 million. Yeah.
Cost 20 million.
And then went to Fulham.
Yeah, on a free.
Okay. Stoney.
Let me hear
in all
this.
honesty, I've got a question mark. I have absolutely no idea, so I'm passing on this. I'm not giving the impression that I know because I don't. So I'm
All right,
passing.
Stone,
No idea.
Tabriz.
Okay. Hopefully I've got the pronunciation right. It's Makovic.
Boom! Boom! Thank you very much. Go on, Tabriz. Go on, I like that. Lazar Markovic.
Okay.
Oh my God, the left footer on the left wing. Oh yes.
Yes.
And he never really played for us. Wasn't he out on loan the
That's what
last
it's
club? He was with
5
Porto,
years,
wasn't he?
23 games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair
I would
play,
never
Tabriz.
have got that.
Hey,
I would never ever have got
you dug deep there. Fair
Yeah.
play.
that. Yeah.
Well
No
done, well,
idea.
Tabriz. Yeah, you dug that one out, Tabriz. Well done, well done, well done.
Fair play, mate. Fair play.
Okay, number 6. Preds.
Well, sorry, very quickly. What's that? Number 6 is the what? Sorry. What was the
Join the
question?
Turkish side from
Oh.
Trabzonspor, yeah?
Yeah. Sturridge.
Okay, Stoney.
Yeah. Daniel Sturridge.
Okay, and Tabriz.
I've got Babel.
Ooh. He's let Stoney back in to level up the scores. Ooh. All right, number 7. Preds.
Albert Moreno.
Stoney.
I have no idea. I'm passing on this.
Alberto.
I do not have an idea, so I'm passing. I have to be honest. I'm only be honest. I don't have an idea for this one.
Tabriz.
Albert Moreno.
And now Stoney has just let Tabriz take the lead again.
Hold on. Stuart's
I
inquiry.
can't
Right?
believe that you didn't say that.
Hold on.
I don't know. I'm being honest.
Here
Hold on.
goes again. Here goes Mr. Ian Rush, Kenny Dalglish, and Graham Souness.
No. All I'm saying is right that Tabriz said Albert. Right? It's Alberto.
Oh,
That's his East London name, Albert.
Oh boy.
Yep, Sturridge could have been a very special bet. You're damn right. He could have. He
Oh,
definitely
that
could
season.
have,
Don't remind me about that season.
100%. I must say, yeah, big shouts goes out to Desby as well. You got that one right. You also got Albert Moreno. Bingy got that one right as well. Vinny got Klein. Desby got Klein as well.
no, but that's the
He says the left back was rubbish.
No, but see, number 8. You've just now given away the answer for number 8.
Yeah.
You've just given away.
Oh
the answer.
shoot, my bad.
Oh, no,
You've
exactly.
just given away answer. And again, just to let you know that I had Klein as well.
I had Klein as well. Yeah.
No, but if you got it written down, it's not a problem.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you got
have
it written down,
Klein.
so it's not a problem. So show me your paper then, Preds.
Here we go. Look,
Klein, look.
that's mine. Number 8. You can see
Number
I've got
8.
Klein as well.
Yeah, I
Klein?
see
You can
that,
see
I see
mine.
that.
Klein.
But
Klein.
but Stoney, there could be a student's inquiry. You've got Clyde.
Clyde.
Klein,
Who's
no,
Clyde,
look.
bro?
Who's
I'm
Clyde?
dyslexic, you know.
You've got Clyde.
I'm dyslexic. That's his brother.
Klein.
Brother.
The man's got Clyde. Okay. And on that note, this week's winner by 1 point is Mr. R&B.
Oh.
With a great shout there, Mr. R&B, for I must say question 5, Markovic. I'm well impressed with that.
Class.
Next, I'm saving this one, the other one I got here for next week, yeah. And it's players. It's a similar thing where I'm going to read out a little bio about them, and it's players that we should have signed but we didn't. Yeah. So yeah, be ready for that. So, gentlemen, coming up, we have Leeds on Saturday at and 7:45 kickoff.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, late kickoff on that day, and then we've got Napoli on the Tuesday, 8 o'clock kickoff. 2 tough games. To be fair, we don't need to win the Napoli game because we've done qualified already. That's why I really wanted to win the Ajax game so that we could actually, you know what, rest some boys and Let them others play, man. Let Stefan Batovic play, the youngster in midfield. Let him play, man. Let these guys play. Give some guys a run out. I don't care. Just let them play, man. You know what I mean? Get them a run out. Even play Kelleher in goal. You know what I mean? Give these guys a run out, man. Play Nat Phillips. Give these guys a little run out. Give the other guys a break because we need that. So I'm not really too fussed about that. But Leeds is going to be a bit of a sticky game because they seem to be, they throw the kitchen sink at everything, man.
Yeah.
I must say that their manager's got them well motivated. They may not have the 100% quality, but they're a well motivated team.
I do like that. The player is it Anderson? Is it Anderson and the American international?
Oh yes, yeah.
Little live wire.
Yeah. Live wire, 100%. Oh yeah, man. Like he's a
Tyler Anderson in midfield.
Yeah.
Because they got the two Americans. They got Brendan Aronson and Tyler and Adams. They got the two Americans in the midfield, isn't it?
I think it's Aronson. Is it Aronson?
Aronson. So it's Brendan. Yeah.
Aronson. Yeah. I mean, he's yeah.
Gentlemen, before we go, predictions for the Leeds match this Saturday, please.
Look,
by the way, have we got any right this season so far?
No.
I don't get anything right.
Apart from the quiz.
I don't.
You know what? It's one of those. Just like, okay, like what Liverpool going to turn up on Saturday? Are they going to be rotated and we're going to be nice and fresh? Like, yeah, I'd take a 1-0. Oh, did he say Leeds?
No, I can't take these 1-0s, bro.
Check this.
These things is not good for my heart. 1-0 is not good for my heart. Unless we're scoring in the 89th minute, this 1-0 thing is not good. It's dangerous for your health.
I tell you what, I can see us winning. I want us to. We're going to win, and we're going to win by 2-0. But I'm also worried about you boys talking about the American boys. I'm a bit worried about what's his name, Bamford.
Big Bamford, man.
No, Bamford on his day, mate. Bamford on his day, mate.
He's a poor Peter Crouch, man. He's weak. Weak, man.
Yeah, 2-0.
This is amazing. This is amazing.
Okay, 2-0 to us. So, Stoney, what you say?
Okay, let me put a lot of things into perspective here, okay? The last time Leeds won this season was against Burnley in the EFL Cup on the 24th of August. I'm just putting it out there. Anybody that's still tuning in, please correct me. They ain't won nothing. So I'm saying, okay, with all confidence, we are not losing against Leeds. I think the main guys, as you guys said, Aronson's playing really good. And I think, is it Sinisteria has actually been playing quite good. He's actually been playing all right. I've got no issue with Leeds.
Rodrigo as well.
Yeah,
he's amongst the goals.
Yeah, but Rodrigo's got a bent foot at the moment. But in saying that, I had the same feeling going into Nottingham Forest and playing against Nottingham Forest. As I said at the beginning of the show, we did not deserve that victory. So I would like for us to make sure we feel that our strongest squad take Leeds game and then Napoli's game as two completely separate games. That's what I'd wish for us to do. So yeah, we've got an evening game and I'm confident we're going to beat Leeds 2-0.
Okay, 2-0. All right.
Yeah.
So Breeze.
Okay, so slight confession here. The Nottingham Forest game. So I was actually born in Nottingham. I was born in Nottingham, and then at the age of 3, I believe. Well, that's what my parents say. I moved to Leeds.
And I knew that coming.
So literally, and I was in Leeds from 3 to 19. So again, I've got a lot of friends, and I've got a lot of love.
What are you getting at, bro?
I'm just on the fence. That's what he's doing.
No. On the KopTalk platform, what are you getting at?
However, I know Liverpool will come right, especially after the Ajax win. I know that we're going to win. It's not going to be a comfortable win, but you know, we're going to get back to winning ways in the Premiership, and we'll be climbing up that table. However, I think Leeds are going to score.
Had to get that in there. All right, yeah. I'm actually going for a 3-1 victory to us. I think we'll get it 3-1. Salah, Darwin. Don't know who else, but Salah. It's definitely Salah and Darwin for us, I reckon. And one quick question before I go, actually, I forgot to ask you lot before we lock off. So Kanate is back. Do we drop Gomez?
No.
And bring back in Kanate?
I would drop Trent and then probably put Gomez right back. You can't drop Trent.
Never gonna happen.
I mean Gomez, sorry.
Never gonna happen. And you know that, Tabrice.
You know what?
Once Trent's fit, he plays.
Gomez is looking like the defender that he was a couple of seasons ago before he got that knee injury. And you can see like now, like, you know, he's like beginning to have that confidence. He's like everyone knows that he's a kind of class player. However, also as well, Van Dijk, I've seen a slight improvement. Well, not an improvement, but
he's stepped up.
Yeah. Like, I've been seeing him engage a lot more. He's you know, like he's not just backing off. He's kind of been a lot more physical, which, you know, again, he's probably just gone back to basics, which is what we like. But I think it's a little bit too soon for like any changes for the back four. And again, keeping a clean sheet as a defender, if you keep a clean sheet in your last game, I mean, it's very harsh to be put back on the bench. I would feel very hard done by if like that happened to me.
Preds?
I would keep it the same. You know, I would keep it the same. Pure and simple. I mean, I think I disagree with you in regards to the Napoli game. I think we've got to go there strong because Napoli are going to be strong regardless. And we've got to be seen to be competitive. But I would say that Gomez, by an inch, deserves to stay in. When I say that inch, he's given players, he's done risks. Nottingham Forest, and he's done a few risks. Not like loads of risks. I think he's still rusty. But he's the ground he's making and the covering and the reading of the game that he's been doing since he's been in has been, you know, it's been really, really good. And I think VVD now is getting better because he's got Trent back in there. So I would keep him in.
Sorry. Can I just kind of back the ball? I think Gomez has literally deserved. Well, even if he makes a mistake, I think Gomez still deserves to be in there. Like,
yeah.
I think it's not even just, you know. I think even if he makes a couple of mistakes, I think he deserves to still be in that starting 11. It's like, you know, literally not a given that Matip or Kanute or Kanate comes straight back in. I think he's done really, really well. And again, will he like be in the England squad? Possibility.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Myself.
Might be a bit too early.
Yeah, I think stick with Gomez. I really like Ibrahim. I was really happy that we actually purchased him as well. And I think the actual games that he has actually played, he's been faultless. But I think we've also spoken about in previous shows about players being given opportunity to gain some form of rhythm. And Gomez, I believe, is actually showing that rhythm that he had in previous games before he did get injured. And I think his injury was against Burnley actually years ago. But I think he deserves to stay in there as well. I'm happy that he's playing. And also as well, I know RT, you mentioned on previous shows about him. I think is Gomez about 24. I think he's probably about 24. About him being given the opportunity to actually play a series of games, and he's actually being given an opportunity. So he's relishing doing that as well. He's been able to re-establish that partnership with with Van Dijk, but also more importantly as well, with Gomez actually playing on the right-hand side, because he's more of a defensive player, he's also able to actually cover when Trent is actually pushing up. And I think that's also been able to complement our back four as well. So for that reason alone, I believe that it would be good to see Gomez remain in our back four.
100%. I would keep Gomez in for Leeds, and I might just swap them for the Napoli game. Sorry, I'd have to disagree with you there, Preds. With the injuries that we've got and the way we play, every time a player goes down, I have to just hold my head and when he gets back up. I think we just need to. We've done what we need to do. We've qualified. Rest guys, give some other guys some minutes, and just get through and keep it moving, man. Seriously. So I won't risk keep playing them the same guys and going out Napoli strong. For what reason? Makes no sense to me. Seriously.
Confidence, though. I mean,
we've spoken about this already, Fitzwarren, plenty of times about playing Trent in midfield. There's B saying keep the defense the same. And he's saying Konate and Gomez future defense partnership.
Easily.
Absolutely. That's a partnership in the making. That.
Yeah. I like the sounds of that.
I tell you now, I wouldn't mind seeing Konate and Gomez together against Napoli. Like, you know,
Good.
they both need games, and you know, it's about building that relationship. So, yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so gentlemen, do you remember, peoples? It's all about Cop Talk each and every Thursday. We are definitely here. So remember to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you all for joining us. We're going to say good night, Mr. Stoney.
Good evening. Good night, everybody. Thank you, Artie. Good night, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as well.
Okay, going to say good night, Mr. Debris.
Good night, everyone. And hopefully Stoney will be on his best behavior next week.
Yo, it's Halloween, bro. It's Halloween time. He gets a bit, you know what I mean? He gets a bit wild. Full moon's about. Preds, my bro.
Yeah, evening. Hey, Stoney, you ain't got the pumpkin at the front door, have you? Because
So do remember, people, all about next week. Thank you very much for having us. Global mapping surveys, don't forget.